Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine seeing something that looks like candy, sold legally, right there at the gas station.
Yeah, colorful packaging seems harmless.
But it's being called potentially the deadliest drug you've never heard of.
Exactly. We're talking about 7-hydroxymetragenine, or 7-OH for short.
Right, 7-OH. And today we're doing a deep dive into this because it seems to be a growing public health worry.
A major one,
Yeah.
especially because it's flying under the radar.
Our goal here is really to cut through some of that misleading marketing you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. And show why it's a serious threat, particularly, it seems, to teens and young adults.
So maybe start at the beginning. What is 7-OH fundamentally?
Well, okay, it's a semi-synthetic alkaloid. It starts with kratom, which is a plant.
Kratom, right, I've heard of that. But this 7-OH isn't just kratom, is it? That seems to be the key distinction.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's crucial. Natural kratom leaves, they only have tiny, tiny amounts of 7-OH, like maybe less than 2% of all the alkaloids in the leaf.
Less than 2%, okay.
But these products being sold now, the concentrated ones, they can be almost pure 7-OH. We're talking up to 98% purity.
98%, that's staggering.
It is. And here's where it gets really concerning from a pharmacological standpoint. 7-OH isn't just a bit stronger. It's way more potent than even morphine.
More potent than morphine, seriously.
Yeah, studies show it can be over 10 times stronger, maybe even up to 46 times in certain animal models. It basically acts like a full-on opioid.
So it hits the same buttons in the brain as, say, fentanyl.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
The full mu-opioid agonist, same pathways, same kinds of effects, which means the same dangers.
And yet it's sold. Where?
Everywhere. Smoke shops, gas stations, corner stores, online, easily accessible.
And you mentioned the packaging, making it look like candy.
Exactly. Gummies, little tablets, drinkable shots, flavored powders. They market it as natural or legal, sometimes even an energy booster.
That creates such a false sense of safety, doesn't it? Especially for younger people.
It's incredibly deceptive, and that perception is where the real danger comes in.
So what are the actual risks if someone's never used opioids before?
For someone who's opioid naive, as we say, the risk of a fatal overdose is very real, just like with heroin or fentanyl.
Why? What does it do?
It causes respiratory depression. That means it can slow your breathing down dangerously or even stop it completely. That's how people die from opioid overdoses.
And because it's so potent?
Right. Addiction can set in really fast.
Yeah.
And the withdrawal, it can be intense, just like withdrawal from other opioids people abuse.
This sounds alarming. Are regulators catching on?
They're starting to, yeah.
Yeah?
The FDA put out an assessment. They're calling concentrated 7-OH an emerging public health threat and urging immediate regulation.
And action is being taken.
Some places, yes.
Yeah.
Florida's Attorney General, for instance, has already moved to classify it as a Schedule I drug under state law. That's the most restrictive category.
Like heroin.
Exactly. And federal agencies are pushing for similar measures, too.
What about tracking? Are we seeing cases?
Yes, and this is interesting. The U.S. Poison Centers only just added specific codes for 7-OH between February and May of this year, 2025.
Just recently, then.
Very recently. And already, they've logged 53 exposure cases. And get this, most involved intentional abuse and led to moderate or major health problems.
Wow. So the impact is already being felt.
Definitely. And you even see chatter online, on social media forums. Users themselves are warning each other about the potency, the breathing risks, the dependence, the really rough withdrawal.
So the message for you listening right now is pretty clear then.
It has to be. Perceived safety isn't actual safety. Just because you can buy it easily doesn't mean you should.
That packaging, the legal label, it's all smoke and mirrors.
It really is. And, it makes you think. Remember the whole vaping thing with teens a decade ago?
Oh, yeah. The marketing was so similar. Flavors, sleek designs.
Exactly. Targeted marketing led to a whole generation getting hooked on nicotine. It shows how, malicious innovation often gets way ahead of regulation when there's profit to be made.
It's a pattern. The market moves faster than the rules can keep up.
Which puts the burden on consumers, on families, to be vigilant.
So knowledge really is prevention here.
Yeah.
You need to recognize that 7-OH isn't some harmless herbal supplement.
It's a powerful synthetic opioid, plain and simple. You absolutely have to question the safety claims of these kinds of products, especially if they're sold outside of a real pharmacy.
So wrapping this up, what's the big picture here?
I think it really highlights this dangerous gap, right, between how easily these things become available and how little the public actually understands about the risks.
The potency, the effects, they mirror traditional opioids, but the marketing hides all that.
Completely. And while regulators are starting to react, they're playing catch-up. The market got there first.
Yeah. The takeaway has to be, question what you see. Legal on a shelf doesn't automatically mean safe.
Not even close.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, how quickly these potent new substances can just appear and spread before we fully grasp the consequences. It's a tough thing for anyone to navigate safely.